So we have our rebreathing systems. We have the Y tube that looks like a Y. And we have a universal F that kind of looks like an F. You would use these rebreathing systems when the patient is over 7 kilograms. For non-rebreathers, you have the bane of our existence, and then you have the modified Jackson. It's a lot of tubes. And then I'm gonna hook up the Y tube. And then the flow of oxygen for this one, you attach it to the wall, which attaches to the H tank, goes to the high pressure system, then it hits the pressure reducing valve, to the flow meter, to the fresh gas inlet, to the vaporizer, to the common gas outlet, and that's hooked up. Then it goes from the inspiratory flutter valve to the patient, that's connected right here. They exhale, goes to the expiratory flutter valve, to the bag, to the granules, to the pop-off valve. Then if you're using a active scavenging system, then this tube will hook up to the wall and the wags will be sucked out. Or if you're using a passive, you can use a F-air canister. Let's see, and then I'll show the modified Jackson. Okay. Modified Jackson. So that was for the rebreathing system. The non-rebreathers hook up straight from the common gas inlet, so it bypasses all of this. And this is your scavenging tube that goes to the active or passive scavenging system. Your pop-off valve, your bag would connect here. And then this goes to your patient. And so flow of oxygen, basically the same, high pressure system, gas reducing valve, flow meter, fresh gas inlet, vaporizer, common gas outlet, but it just bypasses this.
Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how to leak test your anesthesia machine and how to leak test your endotracheal tube. So for your anesthesia machine, you can either plug it with your finger or you can plug it with just your hand. I like to use my finger. Let's do this finger. And then you want to close off your pop-off valve. And then you want to push it down. And you can either use your flow meter or you can use your flush valve, but make sure that you're very careful when using it. And then you want to make sure it doesn't really exceed past the 30 centimeters of H2O. You want to make sure that it stays for a few seconds, and if it pretty much just stays, then it's good. Then for your endotracheal tube, you just want to puff it up with your puffer upper thingy, and you want to make sure that it's just firm and squishy, and make sure it just stays there for a few minutes. And if it stays and it's still the same way it was when you first started, then it's good, and you're all set.
For your oxygen tanks, you have your H tank, which is bigger than the E tank, as you can see. Your H tank lives outside. The PSI when it's full is 1900 to 2200. The amount of oxygen it holds, or the volume, is 6,900 liters. To determine how many liters are left, you would multiply the remaining PSI by 3.0. And then for example, if your PSI was at 2,000, you would multiply it by 3.0 and you'd have 6,000 liters left.
All right, so this is your E tank, which is attached to your anesthesia machine. It is much smaller than your H tank. And when your PSI is full, it will be between 1900 and 2200 PSI. The volume, or the amount of oxygen that's in there, is 660 liters. To determine how much is left, you would take your remaining PSI and you would times it by 0.3. And then over here, for like an example, let's say that your PSI was 2,000, you times it by 0.3, and you'll have 600 liters left in your E-tank.